Welcome back to Royal Production, where we bring you the latest in crypto, blockchain, and anything to do with the new infrastructure of our digital system. My name is Louis, and if you enjoy that type of content, make sure you like, share, and subscribe with others who might enjoy this type of content. We bring you signals here, guys, not noise, so make sure you pay attention, do your own research, and read the articles for yourself. They will be linked down below. So let's look into these prices really quick. Total crypto market sitting at 2.19, Bitcoin sitting at 63,000, Ethereum 1,800. XRP 107, Hyperliquid 55, and the rest of these, if you guys want to see them, you guys can pause it really quick. All right, moving on to the first article I have for you guys today. As Crypto Act teeters, mystery group hammers away at crypto in Washington ads. Okay, next article. Coldcard urges users to move Bitcoin as exploit is still in progress. So this came out a couple days ago. I believe it came out in July, the end of July, but things are still happening with these cold storage wallets. So if you guys have these, we'll go through the tweet they put out and the information they tell you guys about what's happening. All right. Next on the list is first US spot Bitcoin ETF to close as inflows dwindle. Investors chase AI return. So we've been covering this. A lot of companies have been switching over from mining and the whole Bitcoin idea into AI because AI is surging right now. There's a huge bubble with AI, and we tell you guys that all the time. This new system cannot work without AI. So many companies are trying to get that AI infrastructure in play so they can be the first ones to do it. All right, moving on. Sorry everyone, Bitcoin is headed down to 43,000. Okay, this is a crazy thing to say, but this guy has been in crypto and investing for a long time now. He's a 68-year-old investor. We'll cover what he says, and we'll also look at the charts to see if what he says is true. I believe it's true, and I've been saying this for a while now, but stick around. We got a couple more articles first. Tether gold reserve rise 9.5 as gold posts worst quarter in 13 years. So you can't have a digital gold like Bitcoin if there's actual digital gold, right? Okay, last article I have for you guys. South Africa lawmakers propose draft rules on cross-border crypto transactions. Everyone's working on it, y'all. Stick around for the rest of this news. Alrighty, first video I have for you guys. As Clarity Act teeters, mysterious group hammer away at crypto in Washington ads. Crypto Watchdog has taken to warning people in DC about hazards of digital assets, and its director won't say who's backing it. So basically, this company came out, I don't know what type of company they are, but they've been putting out ads online and TV, and we don't know who it is, but basically the organization has been running TV and online ads in Washington area linking digital assets with terrorists and drug cartels as lawmakers try to finish work on the crypto market structure legislation. So they are hammering away at our representatives and telling them we need this crypto bill and we need it by Friday, y'all. Okay, so Friday, if nothing gets signed or passed or agreed upon, then they go into summer recess, I believe it is. But yeah, make sure you guys read the links. They're down below, or the articles, they're down below. The crypto industry's central policy drives to get US law that elevate it to a fully regulated and government approved corner of the financial system. Okay, the worst people operating in the darkest places use crypto because there's no guardrails. So that's not 100% true, but it is true. We've covered stuff on the prediction markets and how about 5.7 million was connected to sanctioned countries and stuff of that nature. But it is one of those things where it's like, you know, who is doing this? Is it the Democrats? Is it the Republicans? Most likely Republicans, but we don't know. We don't know, and we won't find out probably until after all of this is done. But our mission is fairly simple and direct. He told CoinDesk in an interview, it's to bring sunlight and transparency to an over 2 trillion industry that has historically not been very transparent. But that's how blockchain kind of really works. We do have private ledgers. It's not fully transparent, but I understand what they're trying to do with this. But on top of that, you guys have to see the signals here. Like when you have groups come out like this, when we have these conversations, when we see these articles, they are telling a story. They're talking about over 2 trillion. They're making it sound like that's a lot. It is a lot, don't get me wrong, but with the capacity of blockchain and digital assets and cryptocurrency, it can be a lot higher than 2 trillion. So these guardrails that they're speaking about with this new market have to be in place if we want to see anything like 100 trillion, like the stock market or other industries around the world. Okay, so remember, blockchain isn't a walled garden where it's only the US stocks or treasuries or gold or whatever. It's the whole broader market around the world. It's not just there's not just one country that can operate in this system. But read the article, it's down below. It's pretty crazy that we're having this come out now, but I'm pretty sure this is funded by crypto as well. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. Read the article down below. Moving on. All right, so we've heard about this. It's been everywhere because this is something crazy, but I also just think this is part of the planned predictive programming. And on top of that, like these hardwares and these devices and stuff like that, like the system is moving. This looks old to me. This looks like a Game Boy. I wouldn't even put my money onto something like this, to be honest. I have cold storage. It has no computer components whatsoever. I don't trust that. It's offline. If I lose the card, then I lose everything. But that's just how this system goes. You have to be responsible with your assets. Take your hard card, go put it in the bank and a safety deposit box. You get me? So my point with this is be careful how you are transacting, how you are using your digital assets, because this system is moving so fast that a lot of things are being exposed. Okay, so the cold wallet maker said the flaw behind a roughly 114 million in losses remains live with specific models and firmware still exposed. So down here they posted a tweet, all right, and it's right over here. Okay, a little report they put out to everybody. I guess this was an email but right here is basically what they say. If you guys want to read it, you guys just go to the article, click right here, and it'll take you straight to the post. But urgent Coldcard security update, and this is going to continue happening, you guys. I think that like just it's part of this system and the way they have to break it down in order to install the new system. Okay, and if that's destroying Bitcoin, then so be it. I don't think Bitcoin's going to be destroyed, but I think it's going to be made an example of. Okay, especially when a lot of the quote-unquote terrorist or sanction type of transactions been happening with Bitcoin. Primarily there's Tron as well and there's other ones, but they're gonna get all that out the way, in my opinion. Okay, first US spot Bitcoin ETF to close as inflows dwindle, investors chase AI returns. So this is, you just read this part and understand what's happening. And like I said in the intro, a lot of companies have been moving away and we've covered them here. So if you don't agree, go back in my videos and you can see it. Start paying attention to these signals. Okay, Hashtag's DeFi, the smallest of the funds, held 14 million under management compared to, with 47 billion from BlackRock's IBIT. So that's the point of this system. Like if there's a company that can come in and do better, it doesn't matter if it's BlackRock, if they have the funds, if they have, like, this is transparent. If you can't look at the system and see what needs to be built, then that seems like an in-house problem. So like when another company comes in like BlackRock, who does have the funds and who can look at the flaws of a system and build around it and help regulators and whatnot and create these ETFs, then they're going to do better. But they're basically moving into AI as well. Hashtag cited an evaluation of fund assets under management, liquidity, operating costs, investors' interests, and its place within the company's broader product lineup when announcing disclosure. So it's going to be where was it? Right here. Let me pull it up for you instead of just, I think it was in the beginning. There's a lot of reading, y'all. Excuse me, give me a second. But it was it says AI here, but that's not okay. Right here, much of the market's views the opportunity cost of holding Bitcoin too high, while anything AI related soars. So this is just their thought, but it's also true. And there's little charts here so you guys can see the Bitcoin ETFs and the companies that are just taking over. There's just, like I said, once you get a company in here that knows how to do it right, level playing field, because everyone has the opportunity to do it, then it creates different avenues for businesses to go into. And I think that's what they're seeing here. There's no way they're going to be able to like combat or even go head to head against BlackRock. So they're going into AI infrastructure. Anyways, moving on. So sorry everyone, Bitcoin is headed down to 43,000. Okay, and we're gonna look at the charts here. If you guys want to read what he says, you guys can. It will be linked down below, but it talks about it coming down 66% from the all-time high of February 2024. Alrighty, so let's look at this chart really quick. This is what I was talking about. Remember, always do your own research, do your own charting. Don't take anything I say as financial advice, but something, this tells a story. All right, let's take this ruler. Okay, it's a basic measuring tool. This is from the all-time high in 2017. And I understand each of these have different conditions. Okay, I understand it. There was a war during one, a pandemic during the other, yada, yada. Okay, I know the market wasn't the same when these prices came down, but let's look at the story this tells really quick. So you take it from the all-time high, come all the way down to here. It's about 70%. Let's zoom in so we don't mess it up. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. So from the all-time high 2017 down to the low, about 70%, as you guys can see here. Okay, so from 19,000 it came back down to 6,000. Okay, now let's fast forward to the next all-time high. All right, just gonna scroll over. We're gonna take our same ruler out. We're gonna come from the all-time high, right, to the all-time low. Okay, so about right here. Okay, I think it came about lower than that, but let's do it again really quick. About 60 some percent. So first one was 70, as we saw. This one is about 55. Okay, so from 64,000 to 28,000, that's 50%. Okay, now let's go ahead. All right, this is the next all-time high. Let's do this as well. Very simple, from the top all the way down. Okay, now listen, this is over a span of time, and that's what we have to look at. Time is our best friend here. So when we go back and look at these repeating cycles, whatever they might be, okay, I think that this, if you don't think the industries and people were talking about Bitcoin and got into it around 2017, then you haven't been paying attention. Bitcoin has been around for almost what, 20 years now, almost 20 years, 2030, 2029. All right, but let's continue moving. All right, now we're moving to the next part of this, the all-time high. Okay, we can do it here as well. Okay, and it came all the way back down, but we're gonna go to the all-time high. All right, and see exactly where that puts us. All-time high 126,000. Okay, all the way down. Let's do roughly, look, so this is the 70% mark. Okay, this is the 70% mark, right? So around 37,000, but what he's saying in the article is 43. Okay, so if we come here, 43, this gives us the average range in between. So you have that, we had the 70, then we had the 55, you get me? So there's an average range in between where this price could come down to, and that's basically what he's saying based off the charts. You know, we're not talking about industry adoption, none of that. We're talking about just the charts themselves and what it says. Okay, if you guys want to read the article, will be linked down below, but the charts say the same thing. That's why I kind of have this here, because this is a major level for me. If it breaks past this right here, this 49 is 50,000 level, which is psychological, then I think we can come down a little bit more. And if it bleeds that way, it will, I believe, come down to that 60%, which is in the 30 range. So remember, always do your own research, look at it for yourself. All right, we still have much more pain to go. Turpin tells Cointelegraph, Trade Secrets show, he believes that it'll ultimately fall 66% from the October 2025 at 126,000. And then we just looked at that. I think that brings us down into the 40s, and I think it's about where we're gonna go. So this is from him and this investor who's been investing for a long time, probably longer than most of us have been alive. Okay, not me, I'm pretty old, but most of y'all have been alive if you're a younger user here. But just listen to what these OGs say. Look at what these companies are doing, the ones who know what they're doing. Okay, moving on. So Tether Gold Reserve rise 9.5 as gold posts worst quarter in 13 years. So it had a bad quarter and last from since 2013, but it is up. Okay, gold fell around 14.1 during the quarter, its worst quarterly performance since the second quarter of 2013. That's the data. Holders of Tether gold are not only buying XAUT when the price of gold rises, they are using periods of market weakness to increase their ownership of physical gold through a product that is fully backed, transparent, portable, and accessibly on chain. So you have to understand, like, I love Bitcoin, I have nothing against Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, you cannot say Bitcoin is built for transactions when it's not. You can't say Bitcoin is digital gold when, to be honest, we already have digital gold. So what would be the point of a Bitcoin? And yeah, I get it, 21 million. But if you, I don't know if there's 21 trillion worth of gold out there. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I don't know how much gold is out there, but when we get rid of the paper money, then this asset is going to be a lot more precious. Okay, moving on. Next article. South African lawmakers propose draft rules on chain border crypto transactions. So South Africa's moving in the direction of cryptocurrency, blockchain, and all that stuff. But South Africa's National Treasury and South African Reserve Bank are moving towards regulating the use of cryptocurrency for cross-border transactions. So remember, everyone is working on this. If you don't think cryptocurrency or blockchain or cross-border payments is important when it comes to this new infrastructure, then you are not paying attention. Every country is working on this. So it's one of those things where you look at these signals, you understand which companies they're working with, who's building their infrastructure, and the blockchain networks they're going to be using. That's who you would go and invest in, because it tells you the story. It paints the picture for you. You don't have to know everything about this information. It is important to do your research, but at the end of the day, you have to rely on these reports. You have to rely on other people, get that information, put it into your own paradigm, and then examine it, because that's the only way you're going to get out of the system. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys what to invest in, because that's not my job. I'm here to bring the news, and then you guys go and do the research for yourself and figure out if it works for you. Because at the end of the day, some of these coins you guys might like, some of these coins you guys might not like, depending on, you know what I mean? Like, right, you know, this is a perfect example. I don't know what's happening here, but look at this chart, you know what I mean? And then go do some research on them. All right. My name is Louis. I'm out of here until the next episode. Peace, y'all.